Hashtag Rob Havenstein. Hashtag James Woods. Hashtag Rachel Comey.
I didn't know you wanted to
John
protect
Branca.
trafficking that bad. I was like, holy shit.
Maxwell Podcast.
I was like, that kind of makes sense,
hashtag
actually,
Schiff.
you know?
Hashtag Vicky Cayetano.
Like,
Hashtag Donald Dressler. Hashtag Open Secret. Hashtag Andrea Ledson. Hashtag
new
Rob
traffickers
Havenstein.
are going to meet
Hashtag
today,
Maxwell Podcast.
you know?
Hashtag Andrew.
Anyway.
Hashtag Algonquian. Hashtag
So,
Acosta. Hashtag Peter
I
Safran.
mean, are they not going to give me the
James
chance
Woods.
to,
Hashtag Aunt Becky. Hashtag
actually
Open
eat here,
Secret.
you know?
Hashtag Andrew. Hashtag
Are they going to let some
Andrea
homeless
Ledson.
people in here? They're going to
Rob
let some
Havenstein.
crazy people in
Hashtag
here?
Acosta.
Are they going to let,
Open
are they
Secret.
going to let some
Hashtag
girl
Aunt
that's like
Becky.
recording me
Hashtag
on the
Schiff.
bus? I'm like,
Hashtag
why the
Alex
fuck
Latimer.
is this girl?
Hashtag Nadler.
First off, she was
Hashtag
talking to herself.
West
So
Los
I don't want
Angeles.
to hear
Hashtag
Providence
Beverly
Medical
Center.
Center,
Hashtag
anybody else,
Mandevilla.
any of
Hashtag
these
LA
nurses,
Sessions.
you know, who
Hashtag
like,
La Habra.
oh.
Hashtag Angeles. Hashtag La Mirada. Hashtag Laurel Heights. Hashtag Inslee. Hashtag
UCLA?
Lakewood. Hashtag COVID mandates. Hashtag
USC?
COVID fatigue. Hashtag COVID alert.
Oh, she almost looked back. Okay, I was like, all right.
Crush the curve. Hashtag COVID live. Hashtag stop the spread. Hashtag coronary angio. Hashtag open.
I was like, that's pretty crazy,
hashtag
dude, but,
COVID
hey, I
info,
mean,
hashtag narco subs. Hashtag decoy.
it's parent approved.
Hashtag secretive. Hashtag
it's parent approved.
Hashtag pyramids.
I'm like,
Keens. Hashtag secret
parent
service.
approved.
Hashtag
I'm like, it's
operation
parent approved
Popeye.
trafficking.
Hashtag condom.
Hey, they
hashtag
said,
alien
they said on the
tourism.
news, I
Hashtag
mean,
U.S.
if,
Secret Service. Hashtag
if,
secret party. Hashtag international party. Hashtag fed.
if you have a
hashtag
boyfriend,
safe party. Hashtag
you're
come
an
party.
embarrassment.
Hashtag we party. Hashtag
Dang, look
party
at-
next door. Hashtag
people
bachelor
really
party.
wanna, like,
Hashtag
you know,
VIP. Hashtag party
freaking
promoter.
put
Hashtag
any kind of sort of,
Hashtag ALB sure. Hashtag
subliminal
Stephen
messaging out of me.
Levinson.
They're just
Hashtag
like, yeah.
Levitt.
Go
Hashtag
use that bathroom,
CBS
kid.
Evening News.
Sorry,
Hashtag
you
Andrew.
get stuff
Hashtag
stolen.
Eric Erlinson.
I'm
Hashtag
like, shit,
Schiff.
dude, I mean,
Hashtag
like,
Dansby Swanson.
why
Hashtag
do you want to steal my
ALB
stuff
sure.
so bad? I'm like, I really don't understand, you know? Oh, wait, actually, never mind, dude. They pay for that sort of thing. You understand, right? They pay for that sort of thing. Shoot. How's it going? It's tip for one. Dude, that's crazy, man. That's insane. I was like, why'd you look up at the sky? I was like, ah, shoot. Man, they won't let me freaking eat my food in there. They're like, you could eat outside and then you could dine in later. I'm like, man, IHOP, you suck. But it's California. We're not part of the United States. You know, you get to traffic whoever you want. You get to have, like, secret parties and all this other stuff. You get to pay the homeless to, you know. You pay the homeless? I didn't know you pay the homeless. All right. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I guess they do.